This episode of the Lead Machine Growth Show is brought to you by Lead Machine, the step-by-step, tech-easy system for getting leads online. Are you struggling to get leads from your lead magnet? Are you tired of seeing low conversion rates and losing potential customers? It's time to revive your lead magnet and start attracting more leads. Download our free report, 10 Deadly Lead Magnet Mistakes That Are Costing You Leads, and learn how to create a high-converting lead magnet that engages your audience and drives conversions. Don't let common mistakes hold you back any longer. Revive your lead magnet today and download your free report at www.getleadmachine.com/deadly. Welcome to the Lead Machine Growth Show, where you will discover how to tackle your tech, master your message, and design your dream. Paul Guyan, the mastermind behind the Lead Machine, introduces you to trailblazers who inspire you to implement life-changing solutions and systems you can model to nurture your leads and get your offers seen by your ideal clients who will invest in themselves and you. Be sure you visit our website at www.leadmachinegrowthshow.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now, tune in and get ready to transform your vision into reality.
Welcome to the Lead Machine Growth Show, where passion meets entrepreneurship and dreams become reality. I'm Paul Guyan, your Lead Machine coach, host, and international best-selling author and tech and marketing expert. I'm passionate about helping entrepreneurs, coaches, and solo entrepreneurs tackle their tech, master their message, and design their dream. Are you ready to unleash your full potential and achieve extraordinary results? Then you're in the right place. We'll dive deep into strategies, insights, and stories of trailblazers who have overcome the obstacles of technology and marketing and harnessed their mindset, and they're making a huge impact on their audience and their customers. So buckle up and get ready for an exhilarating ride with inspiration, motivation, and practical advice. Whether you're just starting out or just looking to take your business to the next level, let's get this conversation started and turn your dreams into reality. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about boosting your business. Tune in and discover how to integrate AI with content marketing that can enhance your online visibility and strengthen your bonds with customers. You'll get a glimpse into the future of AI and content marketing and learn some savvy strategies for tailoring content to your audience, all aimed at driving up your conversions and your business. On a personal note, I first met our guest while looking for sources for AI, for in particular generative AI, for marketing, content creation, and strategy. I stumbled across her, and I just learned it was through Lou Bortone, her and Andy Bryan's AI Success Club. And I'll tell you, I've been consuming their content and learning from it and actually teaching the things that I've learned and the results that I've been getting to my clients and to my mastermind group. And so I've been following them ever since, and it's a really fantastic program, that AI Success Club. And so let me introduce to you Denise Wakeman, and then we'll dive right in. Denise Wakeman is the founder and chief guide of Adventures in Visibility, a company aimed at helping solo and small business owners increase their online presence and reach their target market. Starting her blogging journey in 2004, she evolved her work into social and email marketing, providing a holistic approach to building a business on the web. Inspired by a trip to Peru in 2013, Denise incorporated her love for adventure into her business, championing experimentation with new tools and strategies. With over 20 years of experience, she has built an online presence and helps others do the same. Denise Wakeman, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, Paul, for the invitation. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. So let's dive in. Can you break down how AI and content marketing intersect and why this is essential for a small business and really business anywhere?
Yes, well, because I work primarily with small and solo business owners, that's my focus. And
Yeah.
being one of those people myself, a solo business owner by choice, that we all have a lot that we have to get done on any given day for our business. And
Hmm.
content marketing is really one of our top needs to be one of our top priorities because that's how we attract new business to our business, new people to our business, I should say.
Yeah.
So when I first sort of took notice of what was going on with AI in November 2022, when ChatGPT was launched, at first I thought, oh gosh, not another thing to learn, right? It was like, ah.
Yeah.
And it took me about 3 days before I had to dive in because I'm an experimenter. I'm very curious. And I was like, oh, wow. This to me was like getting on the internet in 1996. This was to me like starting a blog in 2004. This was something I saw could really transform business, how we do business for small and solo business owners, because it's AI and all the tools that are being built using AI, artificial intelligence, are tools that help us do our job better
Hmm.
and faster. Now, I know a lot of people think, oh, it's going to, take my job. But as a business owner, you do way more than just create content. So AI is not going to be taking your business away. I can really very
Right.
confidently say that. But where they intersect is in everything that you need to create, everything that you're creating to promote your business, to get your business known on and off the web requires content. And content takes time and energy and brain power to create. No matter whether you're creating a caption for an Instagram post, or if you're writing an email, or you're writing a blog post, or you're developing a strategy, it takes time to do. And
Yeah.
what I have experienced, and many others are experiencing now, is how the AI tools, and specifically ChatGPT, which is the one I primarily use. I'm looking at lots and lots of tools, but that's the one I primarily use right now, makes it so much easier and faster. And even though what you are creating or the questions you're asking, the prompts you're giving to the AI tools may not give you the perfect answer, they're expediting
Yeah.
the amount of time. They're making it faster for you to get to that point where you've got a draft and you can then make it your own. So that's the nutshell version.
Right. Right. And you've got to make it your own. You've got to be real because people will find you out. And already we're seeing people who are posting content, and you know that if you see 12 bullet points, you know that they just let the chat bot spit it out, and they said, oh, that looks good, let's go.
Yeah.
And that's not going to work. That might work for a little while, but
Right.
if you're trying to be authentic and you're not really being authentic, you'll eventually be found out. So being real
Exactly.
is super important.
And I think that there's different scenarios when you could just do that, take that piece of content that was generated and use it. But for most things like long form content, blog posts, emails, um, content like that, you definitely need to add your own voice and your own style to it for sure. But for example, if you're taking something that, like, you need to generate a blog post, for example, and you give it a prompt and said, this is my topic, and this is, how many words I want, and I want you to add a quote and some metaphors.
Yeah.
What gets spit out is probably not going to be that great, but it will give you the ideas to get started. But once you've got that completed and it reflects who you are, your message, your transformations that you offer people, then you can give that back, like give that back to ChatGPT, for example, and say, okay, now give me 12 social media posts from this content. And those social media posts are usable in my experience.
Yeah, because they're based on your content.
Exactly. And that's
because they're based
exactly
on
the
what you
point.
gave it. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And so the intersection, it just occurred to me, is not only the AI tools and the content marketing
Mhm.
and the small business owner, it's the intersection of the owner with those tools and with the idea of marketing. And
Yeah.
the reason that's so important is because of the subject matter expertise of the business owner. I run
Right.
into this every day with one of my clients where we're outsourcing some of our content, and they don't know our domain as well as we do, and so
Mhm.
they don't know our buyer persona. So we actually recreated our buyer persona and gave them more and more specific examples and use cases
Mhm.
of how our customers use our products, so that to help them be better on mark. And so you can do the same kind of thing with ChatGPT and with other
Exactly.
AI tools.
You know, I read a lot of there are hundreds of AI newsletters now.
Yeah.
And I read a lot of them in order to keep up with what's going on, what's new, what's evolving, because it changes every day. And I happened to read one today, and there was a great quote in this, so I want to share that if you don't mind.
Sure.
That it was from AI Marketing School newsletter. And it was an interview with a guy, Brennan Woodruff, who is one of the co-founders of Go Charlie, which is an AI writing tool.
Uh-huh.
I don't use that tool. I'd heard of it, but I don't use that tool. But in the interview, he said there's a misconception that many hold. People often think that AI models progressively improve with use, but this isn't the case. The progressive learning we notice is not on the part of the AI models. It's actually on the side of the people who use them.
Mhm.
Users get better at formulating prompts and asking the right questions. The AI models are not self-improving and do not evolve with time. It's you, the business owner, who grows and evolves using the AI tools and with the directions and the prompting that you give them. So when I read that this morning, I was like, oh, that's exactly right.
Yeah. And you know what else is when he points that out, what else is really interesting is it's very true that the better you are at asking questions, the more clear you are about who your audience is, what their pain points are, what your solution, how to articulate how you solve those problems. The better you can be at that, the better your marketing is going to be. And
Right.
even if you're not using a chat bot, just being clear on those things, but practicing with the AI and having to learn those prompts goes, oh, I didn't think of doing that. Here, optimize this for these 6 keywords, optimize this content I wrote for these keywords.
Right. Right.
And it will do that
Right.
for you.
And that's
Yeah.
again where, talking about the intersection, that it's not just in developing content, but it's using it to optimize your SEO, right? For your website and your blog posts. It's also about using it for better automation and for audience analysis. I mean, one of the first things I did when I started using it was using ChatGPT was to analyze a survey to see like what the 5 trends were out of a client's survey.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah,
I honestly, I would have never taken the time to do that. I mean, I always think I will, and then I don't. I just look at the answers and go, oh, that's interesting. But to be able to input the answers to a survey and then say, give me the top 5 trends, or what is the top, summarize these responses for me. It happened in like 2 seconds. So in 2 seconds, I had really good information about my audience that I wouldn't have taken the hour or 2 to do manually. That is a huge benefit for using AI for a business owner.
Yes, it's really good at analysis. And I had an experiment that I did the other day with a transcription of a podcast. And what I wanted to do was I take notes and I give bullet points of what we talked about and that kind of thing. But unless you really dig into it, you don't really know what's in there. And so I wanted to have some of that for my newsletter. And so I used the chatbot to read 82,000 or 8,200 words. Well, when you copy and paste that into ChatGPT, if you've got a free account, that doesn't work.
No.
So I asked Bard what would be the best way to give it that information. And I know ChatGPT 4 will read files from sources now, but it told me open up drop your file in a Dropbox and give me the link and tell me how many words, what format it's in, and then tell me what to do with it. Basically, is what I did. And so it came and I said I asked it for 5 key points that were discussed in this interview.
Yeah.
And it came out beautifully, and it was accurate because it was based on that interview. It wasn't based on other influences.
You weren't asking it to just like come up with 5 points on this topic.
Yeah.
Which it could do that. You were saying, here is a transcript, which means it's original content. Now summarize it. Give me those key points. And that in itself is a key point.
That's a key point. Yeah.
When you can use your original content to have it manipulate that, give summaries. One of the primary ways I tend to use these chatbots is with blog posts. So I write a blog post because I find that when I ask ChatGPT to write me a blog post, no matter how much information I give it, it always sounds like crap. Excuse me. But but when I write something myself with my own brain and then give it to ChatGPT to repurpose all of that content, that is such a huge time saver. And
it comes out a lot better too.
It comes out so much better than me trying to summarize by myself. It's like, let's just take that sentence and do that as a summary. So right there for content creation, it's a huge, for repurposing that content into multiple formats. That's an implementation step for you.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very much an implementation step. And that summary that you get from, and then analysis that you can get from your own content, you can then take those key points and you can turn those into social posts. You can turn them into videos or reels or Instagram reels or whatever you want to do.
Email.
Or in your email subject lines, all kinds of things. So that's fabulous. And it saves you it just saves time.
Yeah. And I've been a big proponent of repurposing content for years and years. Before most people were talking about it, I will say I was advocating for repurposing content. And now it just literally is minutes, if that long.
And you can change the format of your content too. You don't have, it doesn't have to be written. It can be in video. It can be an infographic.
Transcripts. Great. Yeah.
So what are some practical strategies small businesses can use or integrate into their content marketing efforts?
I've probably kind of spoken about some of those. But some of the things that I think are important to start integrating into one's workflows are um, search engine optimization. I don't know, I just lost that. I was like,
SEO, yeah.
Yeah, it's SEO. Just in case people don't know SEO, search engine optimization.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier with that because you can start being more specific about your keywords if that's something that you avoid or don't pay much attention to.
Me,
I'm
yeah.
paying more attention now because it's
Mm-hmm.
easier.
Yeah.
When I write something, I can say, what are the top 3 keywords that I used in this content? Because I might not necessarily be that aware when I'm writing, because I just tend to write something. I have an idea
Yeah.
and I write it. I'm not going, what's the top keyword I should be writing towards? I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But then it can tell me, oh, traffic generation. It was mentioned here, here, and here. Okay, then that's what I want to optimize for, right? Now I can be intentional about it. Now write me that meta description that uses that keyword. Now I can look at my social media posts. Am I using that keyword? Because that's clearly the main topic, the main keyword for that post. The other things are looking at all the different ways that you can use AI. I would be willing to bet that you're already using tools that you are based on AI or are powered by AI at some point that you may not even realize. So, for
Oh, sure.
example, I've been using Grammarly for probably 10 years. I think I looked at
Mm-hmm.
my account, recently to see how long I've been using it. And it's like since the dawn of internet time. But
Yeah.
Grammarly is an AI powered tool. They just don't present it that way because if they had done that 10 years ago, people would have been like, what the heck? What does that mean? And yet, if you're using Grammarly, how else is it being able to tell you how to rephrase a sentence if it's not right or that something's spelled wrong or that is AI right there.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at what tools you can use for specific workflows, because in addition to a tool like ChatGPT, which is a content, it generates content for you, and you can use that for many, many, many uses. There are more and more specific tools, niche specific tools that are being developed every single day. So if you start to look at, well, what are the workflows that I usually am working on? I'm creating polls, or I'm creating blog posts, or I'm creating video scripts, that kind of thing. Is there a specific tool that will do that for you?
Right.
Or can you just use one tool for all of them? What do you need to make your content marketing simpler for you that saves you time so you can focus on the bigger picture things in your business?
Right. And Grammarly, I've been using Grammarly for a while now too. And I love every week they tell you, you are 98% more accurate than.
Oh, they tell you that to you too?
Yeah. Oh, we're both 98% more accurate than most Grammarly users. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, or wow, your vocabulary is expanding. You use
Oh, yours
more
is too.
unusual.
Mine is. Mine's, wow. I'm using lots of unique words. Of course,
Yeah.
I'm talking about techie stuff. So, but that's funny.
Yeah, but that's a kind of thing that um, that is an AI tool. If you use if you are creating content for your website, which I highly recommend, that's my other part of my marketing thing. Like you need to create content, and that
Right.
has to be on your website so you can attract the right people to your site and convert them, et cetera, et cetera. What you talked
Right.
about in your introduction. Um, a tool like Yoast SEO, that's
Hmm.
an SEO optimizing plugin for WordPress. Guess what? It's
AI.
powered by AI. So, make sure that you're taking advantage of those tools to make things faster and easier. That's what I look for all the time. What's the easiest, fastest way I can do this?
So look at your workflows and find tools that help you speed those things up, so that you can spend more time on the higher paying things, that creating strategies and fine tuning your messaging and your optimizing your lead magnets and your products and your sales and all that.
Exactly.
So can you provide a couple of examples about how AI can be used to personalize content for specific audiences?
So I mentioned that I used AI to summarize a survey I did. And, we often talk, maybe you do this with your clients as well, is to, survey your audience to find out what they want, that kind of thing. And so when you know what your audience wants, that makes it easier to segment your content, to give the right content to the right people who've raised their hands to say they want it, right? Well, using, tools like summarizing things, or helping you create polls, like what are the top 10 questions that this audience who looks like this, who is this demographic, et cetera, what are their questions about X topic that is your expertise? That is a very powerful way to use AI also. Finding your voice, helping AI identify what your voice is, so that when you ask a chatbot for an email about X topic, it doesn't sound like a robot, but you can provide, once you have it help identify what your tone and style is, you can add that to your prompt. So that what gets delivered to you as the output sounds more like you. A lot of people haven't thought about doing that yet. How do you do that? Well, this is where you're going to have to talk to Andy O'Brien, because he's our resident copywriter. But
great.
Yeah, and in the club,
let's have him on the show then.
Yeah, definitely. We've developed a formula that you can ask with prompts that you can ask ChatGPT, for example. You could ask Bard or Bing Chat, whichever one you like using, but like to identify tone and style. So a simple way to do it is to paste in a copy of some content that you've written. That's a good example of it. So for example, I gave it the content from my About page. And said, okay, now analyze this, analyze this content, and then tell me what the predominant style and tone is of this content. That was pretty right on. So now I can develop a prompt that I can just copy and paste in with any other prompt as an additional prompt, and say, okay, now I need an email. Make sure it follows tone X, style Y in the output. And that's what it'll do.
I was reading just yesterday a 5-step process. I don't remember what the steps were, but basically you told the chatbot what you were going to do, what you're trying to accomplish, who it was for, and then say, I'm going to feed you samples of copy. And when you're ready, say ready, and then I'll paste it in. And then once you're ready with it, say ready again, and we'll repeat that process until we're done. And then I'll say finished. And then I want you to analyze that for these aspects and blah, 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 whatever it is.
That's the more detailed way to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, but the thing that, which is exactly what you just said, it just was, I'm an implementer, so I like formulas and steps.
Yeah.
But what the interesting thing was is that, okay, now name your style. So this is Denise's blog style, or Denise's email style, or just Jazzy JB's style. And so write this blog post on this topic for this audience using these, for these keys, using Jazzy JB's style. And it will know what you mean, and it will produce that output.
Right.
So that's a super shortcut. But you've got to,
shortcut.
I think you have to train it each session, don't you? Or
yes, it doesn't remember it forever.
Right.
And that's why what we recommend is creating that style guide. That takes a little bit of time, but we provide prompts to help you discover your own style guide. Keep that on file. And it can be as, like you can say, Denise's style guide, for example, bullet point, tone is, personality is, focus on, demographic is, that kind of thing, so that you have that guide, just paste it in with whatever your request is. Because you're going back to the quote by, what's his name, Brennan Woodruff. Yeah, that AI isn't learning everything about you and keeping it in its memory. It doesn't have an indefinite, lifelong memory. So you have to remind it in each new chat that you create.
Right. Yeah. And what I do when I just keep a conversation going. If we've had a long time conversation about a particular product line or whatever, I love how ChatGPT saves that.
Right.
I don't know for how long, but it knows the context. So when I ask, like I have one for this show, and so when I have a guest, I'm going to interview Denise, and this is her bio, and these are some questions that we're going to talk about. What are some follow-up questions that I can ask? And that kind of thing. And so it knows the context of my show, and what. So that's really helpful.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know how long it's going to keep it though. So.
Well, so far it seems. I mean, they've had the saved chats for a few months now. I mean, I go back to exactly what you're talking about. I go back to older chats and say, "Oh, I need a Twitter thread on this."
Yeah.
And it gives it to me based on something I might have given it a month ago.
Right.
So
it would be nice if they let you search for your topics in there. So
yeah, I'm sure that's coming.
That would be nice. That's coming. That would be nice.
I mean, it seems like every time I log into ChatGPT, I mean, I use the ChatGPT 4, the plus version. But it seems like every time I log in, there's a new little thing there that is a new feature that they've added. And now you can save what your content also, it like this little save button or copy button. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry, copy. And then I'll put it into a doc and start working on it,
And there's a link button too.
Yes.
There's a link button that you can share, that's really cool.
Yes. I really what they're doing is that they have seen what other app developers are doing and basically adding those. And because like I had a plugin, not a plugin, extension, Chrome extension to share chats, share GPT. That was the name of the plugin or the extension. And now I don't know, now ChatGPT, OpenAI has that as part of their ChatGPT. So I think they're seeing what people are developing and then just saying, oh yeah, we should do that. So
yeah, they're probably asking the chatbot to analyze that.
Yeah, exactly.
It could do competitive analysis.
Yeah.
So we've touched on it a little bit, but what are some of the common mistakes that small business owners should avoid when integrating AI in their content marketing?
Okay, I would say the number one is do not rely on it 100%.
Right.
Just be aware that this is not the be all and end all. It is a tool, and it is not a perfect tool. And as we've talked about a little bit earlier, is like you don't want to just copy and paste your results.
Yeah.
Without really reviewing them. Is it real? Is it true? Just a funny thing. I was a little story that I was, asking it for something, for a blog post or for an email or something. I said, please include a quote about whatever the topic was I was writing on, from a well-known online marketer. I didn't say who. I just said, just add a quote. At the end, or when I got it, there was a quote, and it said it was from, oh gosh, I'm going to blank out right now. Neil
Patel.
Yes.
Neil Patel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I better confirm that. I put that quote in. I just copied it exactly. Neil Patel, everything. I copied that into Google. See, Google still has a place.
Yeah.
And every single response that came up said it was from somebody else.
Yeah.
And the somebody else was the same in every single, I can't remember now what it was, and I was like, oh, okay.
So maybe Neil should have said,
yeah,
maybe he should have said that.
He should have, but it was actually, and I started clicking on all these examples of the other person who said it, and there it was in his Twitter feed and on a blog post, and I was like, okay, I'm glad I checked that, because if I use that, I have to give it the right credit. So that's an example of not relying on it too much, especially facts and quotes. Make sure you double check them. Do not take them for real, because these tools it's called hallucinating, is that they make stuff up. So
yep. They lie.
they lie. They just like, oh, I want to please you, so I will say what you want to hear. I'm giving it too much,
personality.
But the other thing I think is that it's a mistake not to adapt to these tools, because these tools are not going away, and they can make your business easier. They can make it easier for you to accomplish certain things in your business. We don't know everything that is going to evolve from here on out, but we do know right now, especially from, I use it for content development. I don't, I've done some things like, oh, I'm going to Japan, what should I do in Kyoto for 48 hours? Which is real. I did that really, but that's not I'm mainly using it for my business, for content development and analysis of my audience, so I can be much more specific about what I'm delivering. So don't be afraid. And evolve. You need to evolve your business to stay on top of what's going on in your own business, in your own niche, amongst your competitors. Please give it a try. That's, don't just put your head in the sand. That's a mistake.
Right. And that's really a call to action. So start doing it today. It is. And so we have a few minutes left. You have a little bit more time?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So can you give us any examples of any of the people that you've worked with who've increased their sales or their effectiveness or the results they're getting by using this new technology?
Well, we're getting some feedback from our AI Success Club members, because this is all new. I didn't have this business, this membership in January.
Yeah.
So I have my own successes, but
there you go.
One of our members mentioned that it was unsolicited, just like, this is so amazing. I am helping my sister and my niece create new business models with the chat GPT by asking it, like, what kind of business, or what were some of the things he said? Here's an idea. How can we monetize this? And some of them were doable. And so he's been working with his own family to start businesses based on information he's getting from doing analysis through ChatGPT.
Wow. And of course, the key there is he asks the right questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the basis of our club, is providing prompts every week on different areas around marketing and copywriting. But I have some clients. I'm not working with them directly, but I mastermind with them, and so that's how I impart my expertise. And many of them were like, oh, this AI stuff, I'm not so sure about this. But then, because I think you need to try it, fortunately they listen to me, and they're starting to get really excited about it. Getting excited about it, using these tools for putting together things like podcast show notes. If you just you mentioned this, I have a client who does a weekly podcast, and she has extensive transcripts, and it's so much faster to put together show notes when you just plug those into ChatGPT. I mean, you mentioned this as well, and she just came to mind for me also. But also, I had somebody use ChatGPT, a client use ChatGPT to figure out how to add to fix something in her email program. She just told me this yesterday, and I was just like, she's like, how do you add DKIM or whatever that is? I mean, because there was a problem with her emails getting delivered, and somebody said, oh, you probably need to fix that. And so she asked ChatGPT how to do it, and she did it herself.
Right. Yeah. You got to add a DKIM record to your DNS. Right. And not everybody knows how to do that.
Right. Exactly. I see, you can see me. I'm like, it's a DKIM. What I said, oh yeah, I hire someone to do that. But she said, okay, ChatGPT, how do I do this? And got the directions and did it herself. That saves money, and it didn't take long.
That saves money and time.
Yep. And so, she's a solo. So, there you go.
On this question, I've been a member of AI Success Club since February, and I can attest to that. It's a fabulous and valuable tool, and that's how we met, was through that club, and it's growing and growing and growing. It's growing. I've been on a number of the live calls that we have, and it's just amazing how many. There are some regulars, of course, that are really, really dug into it. But it's really growing. And so I know that it works because you're using it for your strategy. And I can, from the way that Andy presents the prompts and whatnot, I know that you didn't just create those for us. You created them for you and tried them out, and you're using them. So you're walking the walk and talking the talk.
Well, and so also our focus is really specific. It's not on coding and all this other, travel advice and all that. It's very specific. We want to use the tools to help with your online marketing, or any marketing really, and your copywriting. And so that's because that's what we've been doing in our own businesses for over 20 years each. So how do I adapt what I teach that was not powered by AI to make it powered by AI now?
And can you repeat that? Can you repeat that? Because everyone should write this down, what she just said, because just because she's doing it doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing it too.
Right.
So if you can repeat that.
So I think about how I can adapt what I've always done in my business. So for 20 years before there was AI tools, right? How can I switch it around so that I can use AI to do the exact same things faster, easier, more efficiently?
Right. Okay. And so, and anybody can do that.
Yes.
Not just you. Everyone can do that.
Oh, yeah. I am not, the queen of this. I love tools. I love experimenting, and I can't help it. I want to go try out these tools. And this is a massively huge shift. And to me, this is a positive transformation that online small business owners, especially because we don't have teams of people to do this stuff necessarily,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that people like us can bump up their business by being more efficient and productive using these tools so that we can focus on the bigger picture of our business. We can serve more people, or we can serve them better, or we can, look at the big picture and create new things to help serve those people.
Right. Awesome. So we're almost out of time. I think we've just scratched the surface of what we could talk about. I'd love to have you back when we kind of regroup and see where this goes, maybe in a future show. That'd be great. And of course, we got to get Andy on. But as we wrap up with your final words, I think many of you just gave, what are 3 things our listeners can do today to put these ideas into action?
If you haven't already done so, sign up for a free account at chat.openai. You can make that the right link.
Yep.
chat.openai.com. Start a free account with ChatGPT and start experimenting.
Mm-hmm.
It's not scary. It's not, dangerous. Just type in some requests known as a prompt that you want some information about. It's kind of like search on steroids. It could be.
Yeah, it could be.
And then I recommend doing a little research. There are hundreds of newsletters out now of people who are all over this stuff and are writing about what the changes are. I subscribe to many of them. One that I really like is called Prompts Daily. And this is a newsletter that, tells you what the latest news is and then gives you an actual prompt you can experiment with. And that's a really good way to just test things out for yourself, because it's basically focused on marketing also. And you can figure out how it works just by looking at, an example prompt that someone else is providing you. It's a great way to do it. So, take action. I mean,
there you go.
I know that's kind of not very inspiring, but
well, do it now.
Yeah, do it today. Do it right after you finish listening to this episode, because if you haven't done it yet, I think you'll be surprised at what you can accomplish. Every time I've showed someone, had them actually do it themselves, like, okay, go here, type in, what are 5 questions people ask about my niche? Say what your niche is, and let it give you those questions. It'll happen in about 2 seconds, and you're going to go, oh, I get it now.
Yeah. Very good. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Denise, it's been a pleasure. I'm so glad that we finally connected.
Me too.
And Denise is offering a free gift. It's called Game Changing Prompts to Boost Your Traffic. And getting traffic to your website, once you have lead magnets, once you have offers, it isn't you build it, they'll come. It isn't 2004 when blogging, ChatGPT would have been great back then.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, you'd be a gazillionaire. The gift is at www.leadmachinegrowthshow.com/traffic-boost. That's www.leadmachinegrowthshow.com/traffic-boost. And for listeners of this show only, there's a coupon code. And so use the coupon code, one word, it's Lead Machine, all capitals, Lead Machine. You'll get a 90% off discount today. Go there today and pick this up. I know it's going to, I'm going to pick it up after this episode, after we're done here. It's just very exciting. So there you have it. We've talked about the intersection of AI and content marketing and the importance of the business owner and how you can really make AI content generation fun, fast, and real, which is the really important thing, is to make it real for you in your own voice. We've learned how to teach ChatGPT how to use your voice. There's some great resources out there. Take advantage of them. And there's going to be, of course, there's going to be bad resources and good resources. So rely on people who you trust, and I trust Denise. So the daily prompts daily would be a good one. And check out AI Success Club. I'll put a link for that also in the notes on the episode page. And so as we sign off, remember, faith and action go hand in hand. So put the pedal to the metal. And until the next time on the Lead Machine Growth Show, I'm Paul Guyon.
Thank you for tuning in to the Lead Machine Growth Show with Paul Guyon, where we show you how to tackle your tech, master your message, and design your dream so that you can transform your vision into reality. Remember to visit our website at www.leadmachinegrowthshow.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Lead Machine Growth Show.